It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
I don't know where today's podcast is going, and I think it is one that I probably should have spent some time thinking about a little bit and formulating some thoughts. I'm not going to do that, though. So that's coming up tonight on the podcast, today on the podcast, whenever you're listening to this. I want to talk about the thing I'm holding up for those of you who watch the video, this little composition book. I got to talk about this. We'll wait to the end of the podcast. This is important. This is an important thing. So we're going to talk about this little composition book at the end of all of this today. Sorry about no podcast on Monday. If you want more details on why that is, wallet. I've got a wallet problem, a major wallet problem, I recapped the whole wallet problem story over on Patreon. It was the Tuesday's video talking about that. I just don't feel like rehashing it. So if you want the wallet drama, it's over there. But I missed Monday because of where my headspace was not in a place. I wasn't feeling it. Sorry, I wasn't feeling it. But I'm feeling like it tonight. Unorganized, but I'm feeling like it. And so we dive into it. I had one of those things today, one of those things tonight that I love. This is one of those, I love it from forever ago. It has been raining in Lexington, pouring rain in Lexington all day today. Wednesday, what is it? Tuesday, the 18th, when I'm recording this, late at night, and it rained all day. So kind of mopey at work, getting the kids ready for school today, getting them to school. Just mopey, slower driving, you're getting through it. But it's a nice day with the Christmas lights on. It's great. It's great. And I am very particular about weather. Wind is my least favorite of the elements. Wind is my least favorite of everything. Okay, all weather, put all weather under an umbrella. And wind is the one that I hate the least. Okay, I hate the most, excuse me. But I'm also picky about things. If it's too hot, I'm grumpy. If it's way too cold, I don't like way too cold. I don't like way too hot. I'm like the Goldilocks of weather. I like it just right. Just right. I like it just right. Again, I can handle a little cold. I can handle more hot than cold. But when it gets really hot, I'm like, I don't want to go outside. I just want to sit inside. When it gets too cold, I'm like, I don't want to go outside. I want to sit inside. I don't care how much I bundle up. So I like the Goldilocks of weather. But one thing I love is the rain. I freaking love the rain. I know this dates back to Venezuela because it was always warm there, warm to hot. And so when it rained, and there was torrential rain in Venezuela in the Andes Mountains, crazy rain, right? Major floods in the streets. It was chaos, but it was warm. And so when it rained, it was annoying. It would ruin, basketball. It would ruin basketball because we played outdoors. So that stunk. But it was always fun to play in the rain because you weren't freezing cold. And so I just loved it. I love the sound of it. I love the feel of it. I'm a big rain guy. So tonight, got the kids to bed, and I was watching some NBA. And I was like, okay, I wanted to do a Peloton. So I got on the Peloton and just very poorly went through a little bike workout. And when it was done, I was like, okay, I'm going to take a shower. But it's pouring rain outside. I just take the socks off, went out in the shorts and the t-shirt, and just stood there. And it is one of the joys in my life that is unmatched and constant. I loved it. I just stood there, and it was a bummer because I'm addicted to my AirPods and technology. So I didn't want them to get wet. I don't trust waterproof. So I didn't have my AirPods. So I had to listen to nothing, which was very hard for me to do. But I just stood there in the rain and just soaked it in and loved it. And I hope you love the rain a little bit like that too. Anyhow, okay, I don't know. That was just something that just happened. So I'm just coming off that adrenaline high from the rain. Shout out rain, what's good? Come back again someday. I'm holding it up for the video, people. This composition book is what I want to talk about the most tonight. But the thing I wanted to mention, let's just do, every now and then we do a Let's Get Real podcast. This episode is a Let's Get Real podcast. Let's just open it up. Let's throw some stuff out there. see if it sticks. I don't know. It might be oversharing. It might be Michael Budig, old listener of the podcast. If anyone knows Michael, will someone tell him hi for me? Anyone. If anyone knows Michael, I would like you to reach out and said, Sean, Slim, whatever he knows me as, says hi. One of my favorite coworkers of all time. Top tier human. Came down to Peaceful Valley, tried to fight everyone, was not invited back. Love Michael. He always claims, and Brandon a little bit, I have the worst takes. So buckle up. This could be in that realm, and in the bad take, bad opinions realm. I'm 44. I don't know, midlife crisis. I don't know. I don't think it's midlife crisis. As much for me, it's life adjustments. It's a change of pace. And I've had a lot of different paces through life that I've gone through, from childhood to my 20s. You know, you're out by yourself, finding your footing, to career that I chased, getting a foothold and running through that, through the dating world, you know, through the dating my wife, into marriage world, and then right into kids world. And now, you know, a little older, new kind of career with kids that are a bit older. Like, there's just a lot of changes that are happening. And so I have to position myself in all of these. You kind of find where your footing is in each one of these different walks and each of these different paths in life, and things change, and things that you prioritize before you don't. And then you prioritize different things now that I didn't even think about prioritizing back then. And some things fluctuate and come back, or, you know, have come back and now gone again, whatever. But I've been struggling with this maybe the last 4 months. Like, I've really been wrestling with it. And it's the word purpose. Okay. I like was just thinking about it. Like, I need a purpose. I know Tim and Les are going to listen to it, and they're going to hit me with some Bible verses. Les is going to hit me with some Bible verses. I know that. And I know that it's coming. So Les, I know, you know my number, although my phone's been acting weird, Mom. So text my work number. Okay. The Bible stuff. I appreciate you for that. I don't want to get too super serious, but also not too light. So that's where I'm kind of walking that line of, I know my takes are going to be bad takes, because it's not meant to be super duper serious, but also kind of is, because it's been something I've been thinking about. Purpose. What is a purpose? Not like my purpose in life, but what are some things of purpose in my life that you can put in there that are foundational? Because a lot of the things that I've had have shifted. And so as you build pillars of, you know, kind of where you find your identity, when some of those things go away, I have to rebuild those. And I've really been struggling with this lately. I actually tried to call my best buddy, one of my, you know, this is tough for me, Andy. Try to call my best buddy. He knows I'm sensitive about this. You know, you want the best buddy. It's not my, called my best buddy, one-way connection there. No, I tried to call Andy today, or I tried to connect with Andy. He had a moment, free time. I didn't. And then I knew when I had free time, that was way too late with the time change. Anyways, he and I like to work through this kind of stuff with him. And so I was going to talk to him about it before recording, but I didn't. But I'm trying to find this. And I'm really without having some of these things, I find myself waffling. Here we come a waddling. I find myself wallowing through some things where I'm like, ugh, just bummed. Because there was, as much as there was stuff in the radio world I did not like, and there was a lot of stuff I did not like in the radio world, a lot of it was, and I'm very thankful it wasn't on my daily. Shout out Jay and Kevin, two great dudes. But people around me, people I would see in the industry when I'd meet people, people who worked in our building, there's a lot of ego. And it was a lot of ego that I didn't like, and that was, I don't know. There was times where I dipped my feet, right? I would see it in the building, and I would see it with some TV people we had, and there's a lot of ego and a lot of do you know who I am kind of situation. And I didn't like it. And then every now and then it would trickle in because I'm around it. So it's like, oh, I need to try that out. And then I would feel gross. I would like feel really bad. Like, yeah, you know who I am? And then I didn't like it. And it wasn't good for me. But anyways, where am I with that? Where am I right now? But okay, so that was like one of the things I didn't like about that. But I did find some purpose in that. And I think it's one of the reasons I do this podcast is that one thing I love, and I've talked about this a ton, is that I've had a lot of bad days as I'm trying to work through like this part of changing how my life is. And this could turn into a conversation less about what my purpose is and more of just accepting change. As I'm trying to do that, like I've had a lot of days where I'm just like, this sucks. I'm bummed. I'm in a bad mood. I'm going to work. I'm driving into work and I know I'm in a bad mood. And so the first person who walks into my office for a meeting, it's like, you didn't know, but you're about to get it. Like you're coming into a little fiery situation. Did I get like bug bites on my on my gigantic calves? Watching the video, you're just watching me stare down at my legs, scratching my calf muscle because I think I got eaten alive by a bug. I don't know, maybe. So at the radio, I had like this purpose of I could get on the radio and people who are going through a tough time or having a bad day, maybe they could laugh, maybe they could, I could talk about stupidity, be the dumbest person on radio, and believe it or not, a lot of it was fake, guys. Oh, spoiler, the fourth wall. A lot of it was fake. But be the dumbest person on radio who doesn't own a tool. I owned tools. Isn't that weird? I owned tools. I lied. Now, it wasn't great with tools, but we definitely exaggerated a lot of stuff in my life. But it was because it could make people feel good, and I knew that. And you get the letters every now and then. We had a couple of the letters from people who were going through a hard time. We did something really dumb on the radio, and it made their day. And they sent it, like some people wrote letters and we'd stick them on the wall in my studio. And they were just this little collection of like the reminders of when I came in and it was like, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to do this. I'm tired. Stuff outside work is affecting my life. I don't want to put on a face and fake it for 4 hours. And I look over, you see these little letters and you're like, no, I do. Yeah, I do. I do want to. So there was some purpose there, right? In Spokane, I had a good big network of friends, and I found a lot of purpose in that. Being there for friends, being able to help friends, being able to hang with friends, being able to talk to friends with stuff. I had my family there. There's just things of purpose. We had our Peaceful Valley basketball, and as much as that's not like purpose in life, there was something there of like making people love basketball. Is that a thing? I don't know if that's what I was doing there by trash talking everyone and scaring people off the court by being mean to ball hogs, but I always hoped we built like a little community down there, and I always hoped that it would rekindle people who would come down in June in Spokane, Hoop Fest at the end of June, this big 3-on-3 tournament. End of May, beginning of June, everyone who hasn't touched a basketball in a year would show up to the parks outside to play hoops. And at Peaceful, we had our run, and so we'd get an influx of people in May and June. And my goal was to make people fall in love with playing 5-on-5 outdoors Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that when Hoop Fest was over and they're like thinking about just putting the basketball away for a year, they were like, no, this is really fun. I want to be part of that group. I want to keep going. And we did that very successfully. And had people who would play almost year round, as long as it wasn't snowing on that court. I don't know. I found purpose in that. So I'm struggling with this now because all those things I've mentioned are gone. They're gone. And the thing I'm like finding right now, and I really found it the last couple of nights because my older kids especially have just hit this age where they really want to play, and their make-believe brains have really taken off. And they see something and they want to play it, right? So whether it's one of the toys they have, they like feel this connection with, and they're like, we have to play, like that is a baby. We have to play some kind of game of house, or they see some kind of like the toy foods that we've had forever, they've never touched. Now they're like, we have to play restaurant, and they want me to play with them. And so I have really sunk in the last couple nights of putting in solid effort, 20 to 30 minutes before bed of locking in full attention, putting my phone away, and just playing in their world. And you find serious purpose in that as a parent because you realize, like, for me, especially because I've had kids older, I've lived a lot of life. I've done a lot of things. I've had a lot of opportunity to find different purposes, different things that, I valued a lot in my life. And so I don't feel bitter about the kids. I'm at a stage in life where I'm ready to go. All those like crazy things and like staying out late and doing the thing, like doing the craziness and all that stuff. I'm like fully ready to just be like, I just want to be parent mode. I do miss my friends. I do miss getting together with the boys and, going out and watching a football game, getting some appetizers, getting some beverages, just shooting the crap, talking about whatever it is. I do miss that. But I find so much value in these little ones running around the house. Anyhow, I'm trying to find something else outside of that. As much as that's great, and like my family in this house is top tier priority, way up there on the list of priority, and it's kind of where I'm at, but I am missing some of those extra curricular pillars right now that I got to figure out. I don't know. Again, was this bad or not? Maybe it was. I hate did that come across preachy? I hoped it didn't. There is one thing there's a lot of things I don't like. I'm very opinionated. But one thing I don't like, and we have this at my work right now, and I am in the vast minority, and I very much will approach this considering that I'm wrong, okay? And this is where you let Michael and Brandon know, I know I'm wrong, but here's my thought. We do a thing, the place I'm at for work, they are very much into teaching leadership, which I think is a great thing, right? That sounds like a great thing. And I've been at other places where teaching something like a leadership or whatever is like a big deal, and they love it. And it's always, anytime I've been in an environment that is like that, I have had a major problem with it. Not because I don't think it's valuable. In fact, the idea of leadership, I like. I have been in situations, let's toot my horn here. I've been in situations where I have been in a leadership role and I enjoy it and I can be okay at it. Okay. So for me, when I go to work and we do these like leadership training things, I really value it because it is stuff that I can grab onto and be like, that's good. That's quality. But my heart goes out anytime it's something like, and this is just, I just use that as an example, but there's been plenty of times where someone is out there preaching a specific skill set and putting it on a pedestal as something, and my heart goes out to the people who aren't in that spot. And people, not everyone's a leader. Guess what? Like this, I'm just using leader as an example, but there's, servanthood. Not everyone's a servant. So I understand there's like this bigger idea behind when someone says one of those buzzwords. It's not just the peak. It like trickles down and waters down, which then you're watering it down, but whatever. I feel bad for people when you're in a group and they're talked to about one of these things. Motivational speakers come in, they talk about one thing and they're so passionate about it. And I'm like, man, not everyone in this room is wired for that. So the people who are wired for that, this is great. This is great conversation. And you're really helping them out. But the people who aren't wired for that, you really are making them feel less than. Okay? Because the way I feel like a lot of times you get in these situations and you get a motivational speaker who's trying to convince you of something, and the people that it's hitting on, they leave and they feel super fired up and they're ready to go run through a brick wall. But the people who don't feel that now feel like, well, why do I not feel, I should be feeling something more. And if like I'm conflicted and I feel bad and am I not good enough? Am I not, because I don't carry that trait and I can't like utilize that trait and I don't exemplify that trait. Am I not good enough? I hate it. Oh man, it makes me feel awkward. Since I was young in high school, it made me feel awkward. Oh my gosh. I do not like it. I feel like I just want to go to the people that I know are not it, like who are being affected negatively by those speeches. I just want to like be with them and like give them the hug and be like, I got you. I got you. I got you. This is not for everyone. That person's making it feel like it should be for everyone. It's not. Okay. So that's why I hope that didn't come across as preachy. I hope it wasn't like you need to have purpose in your life or you're a failure. 5 ways to find your purpose. Underline message. If you don't find purpose, screw off. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. What are we doing?
Kelly's, what are you into?
Boy, that was a long time. 20 minutes to get to this doggone thing. And this is the only thing I wanted to talk about tonight. If you're watching the video, this composition book. I love little books. This dates back to 3rd grade. And I know it dates back to 3rd grade because I was in Jim Gertson's classroom when I fell in love with these little books. Now, they weren't always composition books. The ones I had in 3rd grade were the books that you would do, like we got them and we had to put them on our backpack and you would write down your homework assignments in it and they would flip. So they were a little book and you'd flip it and then you'd write stuff down and you'd flip out little flip books. Is that what those are called? Little metal spiral on top. But these composition books I love. So I've always had these. Now, my favorite thing in the world, in the office supply world, I'm holding up on the camera. This is a very camera heavy episode now. You hopefully watched it 2x as I fumbled through, purpose talk. 3x5 cards. They're my favorite office supply. They're like my favorite supply in the world. I love them. But these composition books I love nearly as much. I used to have a ton of them on the table next to me, but my daughter found them and then Huck found them and they filled out all of them with coloring. So what do I need to talk about with these? Well, I have kept these. I've always had these throughout my life. For the longest time, I would watch sports and keep stats in them. Okay, so I would watch like a baseball game and I'd keep stats in it. Basketball, I'd find like 2 players, Sean Kemp and Gary Payton, and I'd try to keep all their stats in it. So I'd watch the game, and then I would, this is nerdy, at the end of the game, they'd flash, they'd flash stats up when someone was shooting free throws, and I'd look and I'd be like, is that what I have their stats as? Oh, I'm a rebound. I missed a rebound somewhere for Sean Kemp. How did I miss a rebound? And I would see how accurate I could be. That's weird. But I just love these books. So here's what I'm doing. Starting now. I wrote on this one 11/18/25. And this is booklet number 1. I'm going to just start writing in these. Now, doesn't that, hey, Sean, what a novel concept. It's called the freaking journal, idiot. All right. Congrats. This is a composition book, so don't come at me with that. I understand everything I'm about to say sounds exactly like journaling, but the intro to the podcast says I don't like to write, and I don't. But I just want to have these and fill them out. And fill them out with what? I don't know. But I just want to fill them out. At the beginning of the year, I got into drawing. And I made it through about March with drawing. Every day trying to draw something, get better at drawing. I really liked it, and then I just fell out of it. I think like things in the house, it was like stressful times in the house and like some work stuff. And I just shut my brain down to life and just tried to get through a couple weeks and just stopped drawing. And then I never went back to it. But this one probably have some drawings in it. I just want to write in it. And what it's going to be, I don't know. This could be a grocery list for all I know. I could put like what I want for Christmas in here. I could write a little journal entry. This could be ideas that I want for things to do around the house. Things I want, ideas for Dungeons and Dragons. Thoughts I have about the kids, right? Games, tic-tac-toe games with Olivia. I don't know. I want to write in it. I want to draw in it. I want to cross things off in it. I want to make checklists. I want to play games in it. I just want to fill these out. And every time one is full, I want to throw it into a tote. Junk, right? Let's just be hoarders here. What was that lady's name from the Netflix show? It was like, minimize everything. Don't have anything. You should own one t-shirt. And that's it. and no other clothes. Minimalize everything, right? Not me. I want to have 1 million. I just want to fill out these books. When I'm done with it, I want to throw it in a box, get another one, write the start date on it, and fill it out. And just do that for as long as I can do that and see what happens. Because I think it could be cool. That's the kind of weird stuff I like to do. You know, there's some husbands out there. There's some macho men and some awesome gals who are, you know, the real catches. And people are like, man, that guy freaking rules. I wonder what it'd be like to be married to that guy. Man, that gal, what would it be like to be her best friend? He built an entire house with his bare hands this weekend. He did all of it. He built a new wing off the back of their house. She went out and totally Christmas lights, figured out how to wire her house so that the Christmas lights they're everywhere and they're on this timer that is just perfect, and the house screams of Christmas. And she also remodeled the whole kitchen. You know, and these people are, what about the guy who filled out all the composition books? Okay. So thank you for listening to the podcast today. Your favorite 15, I'm looking right now. Nailed it. Your favorite 15-minute podcast. We're just over it by about 15, 20 seconds. So props to us for getting the job done in 15 minutes. Thank you for listening. Go ahead and leave your comments. Don't even be aggressive tonight. Right now you're listening. You're like, what did I just listen to? That was a lot, Sean. That was a lot. Are you okay? I'm great. I'm actually, what time is it? 10:30. The Blazers game doesn't even start for another 28 minutes. I should talk for another 28 minutes, but I don't want to go over 15 minutes. So I'll have to find something to do. Maybe I'll write in my composition book. I do have to go fold laundry. So I'll fold laundry, write in my composition book, and maybe I'll write how many pieces of clothing I fold. That's the kind of weird stuff I want in this. I'm going to fold everyone's clothes tonight, and I'm going to write in this book how many pieces of clothing I folded. No date, no reasoning, nothing. Just pieces of folded clothing equals this many, and then I'm just going to move on. That's the kind of weird stuff I want in this book. All right. Leave a comment. Go to seanslife.com. There's a big comment box there. You can go comment there. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, you can leave a comment on Spotify. You can text me. My phone's been acting weird. I might not get your text, but you can try to text me. You can send me a message on TikTok, or you can, of course, leave a message over on YouTube on the comments. All right, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Goodbye.